All right, welcome. Today we are going to unlock a powerful fundraising strategy that, honestly, so many nonprofits just overlook. It's one that could really secure your organization's future, all by helping your donors build their own legacy.
So let's just kick things off with a pretty crucial number. A whopping 60% of nonprofits have no planned giving program in place at all. Just think about that for a second. More than half of all organizations are completely missing out on this.
And look, this isn't just a tiny gap in your strategy. We're talking about a massive missed opportunity. Billions of dollars pass through wills every single year. You have donors out there who are already looking for ways to leave a lasting impact, and right now, they just might not know that including you is even an option.
Okay, so let's dive in. We've got a really clear plan today to walk you through exactly how to get started. We'll cover everything from understanding the potential to launching your own program, and of course, how to sidestep those common pitfalls along the way.
First up, let's really get our heads around why this is such a huge and yet surprisingly simple strategy for your organization. It's often called the easiest major gift strategy out there, and for a really good reason.
So here's the key thing to understand. This kind of giving happens completely outside of a donor's current budget. We're not talking about asking for money from their checking account today. No, we're talking about a gift from their long-term assets, something that's part of the legacy they want to build.
And here's the best part. Who are these prospects? Well, you don't need to go out and build some brand new audience or launch a giant marketing campaign. Your best planned giving prospects are people who already love you, people who already support your mission. This is all about deepening those incredible, loyal relationships you already have.
Okay, so let's see how this all builds. We know why this is so important and who we need to be talking to. Now let's get into the how, the different ways your donors can actually make a planned gift.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. You've basically got two main paths. On one hand, you have bequests, which are just simple additions to a will. They are by far the most common, and they're super easy for you to handle. Then, on the other side, you have more complex tools like trusts and annuities. Those are fantastic for larger gifts, but they do require you to have some professional partners in your corner.
All right, this is where the rubber meets the road. I'm going to give you a simple, actionable guide to get your own planned giving program up and running. And I'm not talking about next quarter or next year. I mean, this week. It really is this simple, just 5 steps. You create a basic one-page guide, you make it easy to find on your website, you start having conversations with your most loyal supporters, find a pro bono partner to help with any technical questions, and then you just track the commitments and steward those relationships. That's it.
And I really want to hammer this point home because it is so important. This is not some monumental task that requires a whole new department. You just follow these steps, and boom, you officially have a planned giving program. You are in the game.
Okay, so since bequests are the simplest and by far the most common type of planned gift, let's double-click here. This is your entry point. Mastering the conversation around bequests is really the key to unlocking this entire strategy.
I mean, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? A full 80% of planned gifts come in as bequests. So when you're just starting out, this is where all your energy should go. Don't get distracted by the shiny, complex stuff. Just focus on the overwhelming majority.
And the conversation itself, it can be really natural and uplifting. The trick is to frame it around their legacy and their values, not around mortality. It's an inspiring conversation about the future, about the amazing impact they want to have on the world.
Okay, now let's look at the math, because this is where it gets really exciting. This shows just how powerful these conversations can be. I mean, if you talk to just 50 of your major donors and only about a third of them decide to include you in their will, you could secure $1.5 million in future revenue. The numbers are just staggering.
And based on how these things usually work, that could translate to an extra $500,000 in unexpected revenue coming into your organization within the next 5 years. That is game-changing money. Money you didn't have to compete for in some annual campaign. All right, finally, to make sure your program is set up for success in the long run, let's quickly cover the common pitfalls. Because knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do.
So let's just run through these real quick. First, don't wait too long. This conversation about legacy, it's relevant for people in their 40s and 50s, not just the elderly. Second, don't make it too complex. Always lead with the simple power of a bequest. Third, you have to follow up. A commitment isn't the end of the conversation, it's the start of a whole new chapter in your relationship. And finally, formalize it.
Creating a legacy society or even just documenting the pledge shows your donors you truly value their incredible generosity.
So, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be the mindset. This is not a morbid or awkward conversation. It's an empowering one. You are helping your most dedicated supporters fulfill their deepest desire to make a difference that will last forever.
And I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Your supporters, they are already thinking about the legacy they want to leave behind. The only real question is whether or not your organization is going to be part of that beautiful, powerful conversation